so it's almost time for final year students to take their affiliation exam, which is the KNUST examination, basically for nurses and midwives. So calm down as I dress up, sit down, and take you through this examination. Okay, so the KNUST exams is a kind of examination that every nurse or midwife has to write just to gain a diploma certificate from a recognized institution in Ghana. So almost about 90% of nursing and midwifery training schools gain their diploma certificates from the KNUST. And the other percentages, some gain theirs from the UCC and other private universities. But today I'll focus on the KNUST because it carries the maximum number of percentage for these nursing and midwifery training colleges. All right, so someone asks, what is the work of the KNUST when it comes to the training colleges? Yeah, it is true you didn't school on their campus, but you are affiliated to them. So they kind of manage whatever you do on campus. Yeah, they have a hand in it. Yeah, even though they don't come to you directly, they go to your principals and the administration. So they have a hand in managing your life on campus. And they also they kind of review the curriculum for you, and they are responsible for setting and marking your final exams, which is the KNUST affiliation exams. Okay, so before you write this exam, you need to do some registrations. So some schools, immediately you enter your first year, they take your WASI results and other particulars, your birth cert and others, and register you at a fee. Others too, it comes in latter part. So it depends on the school that you are in. They have different times in doing these things for every student. So after the registration, you are supposed to keep your receipts safe, because at the end of your training in the college or in the school, you might be asked to provide that receipt to prove that yes, indeed, you paid for the registration of the KNUST examination. Okay, so the nurses and midwives, they take different test papers. So the nurses, for instance, they take the public health and mental health nursing. They also take the medical and surgical nursing. And they also take the obstetric and pediatric nursing. The midwives also kind of take the same public health and mental health nursing. And they also take the medical and surgical nursing. And the last parts which differ, midwifery, neonatal nursing, and anatomy and physiology of the reproductive system. That is for the midwives. So the only difference between the nurses and midwives is the third courses that I mentioned, or the test papers that I mentioned. So the nurses will take the obstetric and pediatric nursing, and the midwives will go for midwifery, neonatal nursing, anatomy and physiology of the reproductive system. All right, so before you write these exams, the KNUST, the university is going to provide a timetable so that you know that this time and this time I'll be taking my affiliation exams with the KNUST. And I know those of you about to write, in the next few weeks, your timetable is out. That's the purpose why I actually made this video, because you need to hear something about this examination. Okay, so now to the main point. So because you registered, you have an index number from the KNUST, and you're going to use that index number to write your examination. So after they submit the timetable, as I rightly said, every paper, between the three papers, every paper will come with 120 questions, 120 questions, which is supposed to be finished within 2 hours for all the three. Unlike previously, when they were given like 200 questions in the space of 3 hours. Yes, but before you write these exams, there'll be examiners from the KNUST here, from the main campus, to come to your various schools and talk to you about how the examination is going to be, just to allay anxiety. Because you see, exam is an exam. No matter how brilliant you are, you become some kind of anxious and confused. You'll be wondering what this examination is about. Yes, it's difficult, but it's not difficult when you prepare very well. So it's good to always prepare and be ready for such an examination. We all went through it and we succeeded, so why can't you? You also can, and you come out successfully. I remember when the stars from the university came around to our campus, I kind of asked the question, because I was kind of anxious. I asked the question that, okay, so you'll be coming around and you'll be ready to make sure the exam ends well. They were like, yes. And I asked them, so what if someone collapses along the time of the test, maybe out of anxiety the person collapses? Would there be an ambulance to take the person to the hospital? And my colleagues were laughing, yeah, because it was actually funny. But I wasn't asking for myself, I was asking for myself and my other colleagues who were also anxious, because we had never set for this particular kind of examination. Yeah. But actually, when we were coming to the nursing school, everyone was like, you are going to this school, but we never knew at the end of the day we were going to write an affiliation examination, not set by the tutors that taught us, but rather by people outside the campus. Yeah, so we were wondering the kind of questions that they are bringing, though we knew it was still within our curriculum. Okay, so that was just by the way. So let's move on to when the results will be released. So when the results are in, you'll be asked to enter your code so that you'll be able to access. But before that, you'll be asked to pay some amount to the bank. At the time, we were using one bank, EcoBank, but I don't know this time the kind of bank. It could be the same bank, or changes could be made as the years go by. And after that, we were asked to, when you are done with the payment, we were given the chance to bring in a picture for, you see, it was a virtual graduation, so you brought in a picture for them to project virtually, because since COVID-19 came, we were always using the virtual way of graduation, which wasn't what we liked, but we had no other choice. We all prefer to have dressed, like, yeah, be in our best of clothing, because it wasn't easy to graduate from the nursing or midwifery training college. So we always wanted to like dress up and meet our colleagues and be like, congratulations to us all, but we couldn't get it that way. But in all, we thank God for a success. So you pay those fees and you do the required, you fill the form online, then you submit your picture to be projected on the day of graduation. Someone will ask, what's the reason why we should take this examination? You will need this affiliation examination if you want to further your education. You see, they'll give you a diploma certificate, and education doesn't end at the diploma stage. You will kind of need to have your degree, your master's, whatever. So anything that I want to do, if you want to further your education, when it comes to education wise, you will need this certificate. So it is very important. So you need to put in much effort just to pass this examination. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Once again, my name is Nayadith. Thanks for always watching my video. Please, I'm begging you, kindly subscribe. Be cool. Okay, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for watching this video. My name is Nayadith Makramo.